What's up, everyone? Sorry about this camera angle. I'm trying to fix it quick. Uh, there we go. I wanted to post a quick video. I haven't done it in a few days because of the weekend, things like that. Another topic that's been kind of going around a lot of people ever since Rich Piana came out with his Bigger by the Day series. Uh, he. Let me just backtrack for a minute here. When he did his Bigger by the Day series in January 2016, that thing fucking took off. I mean, there was so many people that wanted to, get big and get huge and just be as big as possible. And it just, I mean, everybody was doing that challenge. Everybody was doing it. The 4 months program of, uh, packing on 40 pounds of muscle in 4 months, and he's claiming that everything, I don't want to hear, oh, you got to take steroids to do it, and blah, blah, blah. And he was trying to prove to people that you can do this naturally. So, and I was looking through some of the videos on YouTube, and a lot of people, I mean, they packed on some pretty good size, for being natural, which is, hey, that's awesome that you guys did that. I did it too. I'm still doing it, but I'm doing it in a format of how I was taught as a trainer through ISSA. I'm making sure I don't pack on weight. I just fill out. I stay the same size, but I get bigger, and that's really helping me. And for me, I've done so many things with my diet. I've done keto. I've done high carb. I've done moderate high carb, zigzagging it. I've done nothing but protein. I've done fat and protein with no carbs. I've done fat, protein, and carbs. I've done so many. I've done carb only diets. I've done so many different versions to find out how my body reacts to certain things. For me, my body reacts better if it's moderate carb, moderate protein, balanced out. I get very hard, I get very, very lean, very defined without carrying a whole lot of water. When I go high carb, I lose my muscle hardness and I get very watery. So moderate protein, moderate carb, perfect for me, and zigzagging my carbs based on what I'm doing. As far as workouts go, if I do cardio and weights, I up my carbs and then lower it after the workout. If I just do weights, keep the carbs moderate. But anyway, that's how my body works through carbs and zigzagging. So the video I want to talk about today is, can being too muscular kill you? BioS3 did a video on this a few days ago, or not a few days ago, last week sometime, and I just wanted to put my 2 cents in on it. Basically, yeah, it can be bad, and it can be whether you're natural or if you're taking steroids. It doesn't matter what the hell it is. You can have a natural physique or you can have a steroid physique, and it's still bad for you. Now, just kind of picture it this way, guys. If you're a 300-pound bodybuilder, okay, depending on your height, you have no idea, natural or steroids, doesn't matter what the hell it is, you have no idea how your body's going to react to that. You don't know how your body's going to react to it. You don't know how your body's going to even look at 300 pounds. You don't even know what 300 pounds of muscle even feels like on you, on a frame of your caliber. So you don't know how it feels to be that big. Some people, these high school kids, and sometimes like, oh, I want to be massive. I want to be 300 pounds. I want to be, and they don't even know what 300 pounds will even look like on you or even feel like. I mean, you're 300 pounds, fat or muscle, it's irrelevant, okay? 300 pounds is 300 pounds. If you if you're 300 pounds, that's 300 pounds on your joints that you're walking up and down steps. That's a lot of muscle you're moving around in, and it's hard on your joints, and it's hard on your heart because your heart has to work harder to accompany all that weight that you're pushing. So that's really not, you know, I mean, yeah, it's cool to be huge and it's cool to be this and that and the other thing. And I encourage people to get freaking big as genetically possible. Don't get me wrong, but know what your limit is. I mean, if you start losing natural mobility and function in your everyday life, you might want to shrink down a tad bit. So that's my opinion. Well, one more thing. With being 300 pounds or being whatever, I mean, yeah, it's harder to move and this and that, but also your heart has to work harder. Your heart rate is going to go up and up and up because it's meeting the, like I said, it's meeting the demands of the activities that you're putting on your body through all those, through all that weight, through all that muscle. So your heart has to work harder to meet the demands on it. I believe I said that already, but whatever. So that's another thing. Like I said, 300 pounds, no matter what, 300 pounds of muscle or 300 pounds of fat, it's going to work the same way on your body, no matter what it is. Now, what I would personally do, or what I would personally recommend as a trainer, even what I do with my diet, is, and I'm not recommending people to do this, okay? This is what I do. I cannot legally recommend anything to you guys about diets, like I stated before. But one thing that I personally do for myself, I zigzag my carbs, like I said, and I keep my protein moderate and don't, zigzag my carbs, keep my protein where it's at. That way, I don't gain any weight. I stay the same weight. For me, I'm an endomorph, so carb loading is not exactly ideal for me. I believe I might have mentioned this in my Instagram posts, or maybe on YouTube, I can't remember, but I'll say it on here anyway. I don't think, personally, if you want a carb load to get big, and I'm not talking about carb loading for marathon runners, guys, I'm talking about carb loading for, to get big. You don't exactly... Carb loading only works for certain people. And, Rich Piano would probably look down on me and say, no, damn it, I don't think carb loading works for everybody. Everybody's body's different. Cut right to the chase here. I think carb loading is only for ectomorphs, simply because you've been very lean most of your life, and you're skinny most of your life, and if you naturally have a very hard time gaining weight, you can eat a ton of junk food and not gain an ounce of fat on you. Chances are you're going to probably have a hard time gaining a lot of muscle. Is that a bad thing? Is that, you just sit down and say, okay, I'm never going to gain muscle, I'm just got to live with what I have? No, that's the worst thing you can do. The one thing you should do, up your meals. Have more meals every single hour. Up those calories, up the fat, you got to eat calorie-dense foods. If you have toast for breakfast, plain toast, put butter on it, put peanut butter on it, have a sausage with your eggs in the morning, have, up your fat intake, have cream in your coffee instead of just having it plain. You got to have calorie-dense foods if you're an ectomorph. It's essential. You need to have those calories. For someone like me, I can pack on muscle, but I have to watch my fat intake too. I'm kind of between meso and endo. It's really weird. I can pack on muscle, but I have to watch my fat intake. Mesomorphs generally don't struggle keeping their body fat low. It's relatively easy for them. Endomorphs have a very hard time doing it. I think, like I said, even though it might be impossible for me to say this, I'm going to say it anyway. I don't give a shit. I'm between meso and endo. So I have to have, and I was actually talking to one of my good friends in the fitness industry, Brandon Turner. What's up, bro, if you're watching this? like we said, everyone's body is different. You have to um, find out what works for you. And I was even we were talking about that one day. You can't, what might work for one person is not going to work for the other. And trust me, I've learned that multiple times in my life. It took me a good 3-4 years to really find out how my body reacts to things. So my body's naturally going to react better to moderate carb, moderate protein, balanced out. So, it's one of those things where it's a trial and error. No doctor is going to be able to say do this. No, you got to find out kind of, well, maybe a doctor could, but you got to find out what works best for you and your body type. As a trainer, we can't legally say do this, do that. As far as nutrition goes, we can set up a verbal advice, but we can't, based off of how your body reacts to foods, but we can't legally write something up. Like I said in one of my videos, you're not able to do that because of the legalities of it. A doctor or a nutritionist, yeah, they can, but trainers, we can't, which sucks, but it's the way of the business. You want to protect yourself. So anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Yeah, so like I said, can being too muscular kill you? I believe it can. Whether you're natural or whether you're on steroids, doesn't matter. For people that want to get big and as big as possible, that's awesome, guys. I think you should push yourself like that naturally. You should push yourself like that and be the best you can be. But just remember, even if you're natural and healthy, which is good, it's still going to be hard on your body. Muscle or fat, doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Weight is weight. You're going to be able to, it's going to be harder the more muscle you pack on. And I'm referring to 300 pounders. That's 300 pounds of muscle, not like 180. As far as the numbers you're trying to gain, like I want to get to 300 pounds or, things like that. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'd like to hear what your opinions is on these videos, on this video in particular, and I will see you in the next one. Stay tuned for more.